Ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls, what the heck's up? How you living? How's your life going? I'm currently, as per usual, headed into work, and I figured I'd make a little bit of a trading video. I mean, I haven't really made one in some time now, quite honestly. It's a beautiful day out, I'll tell you that much. We got some storm weather coming in next week, so that kind of sucks, but, you know, it is what it is. But, yeah, I kind of want to talk a little bit about my trading lately and just what's been going on with that. You know, I've kind of shifted a little bit more over into regular moto vlogs and stuff like that over the past few videos. And yeah, my trading, you know, I haven't given up or anything on trading. You know, I haven't just completely cut out trading. I've taken, you know, a pretty sizable break from it, though, most definitely. I've been kind of more focused on some different things in my life, especially with, like, my girlfriend and whatnot. Kind of just more focused on more stability with a lot of things, rather than being full force into trading, you know. I do love trading, and I'm definitely going to be going back into trading sometime soon, but as for right now, I've just taken an intermission, man. You know, gotta give it a break sometimes, come back stronger. Yeah, I've been looking into like a lot of new things with trading. Something that I've settled on that's kind of interested me lately is like an orb strategy or opening range breakout strategy. You know, it's definitely seems pretty simple, straightforward. Something that's kind of my cup of tea. What in the heck is going on up here, bruh? What is going on? Why are people just sitting in the middle of the road, man? But anyways, yeah, you know, I've been looking at opening range breakout and trying to find a way to kind of use that. I do, you know, like supply and demand and everything, but it's just something that I've noticed, is I always find myself not feeling content with it, or just feeling solid enough with it. Like, I mean, it's great, but I just don't feel like it's as efficient whenever it comes to like NASDAQ and, you know, futures and stuff like that. With something like, you know, Forex and like you know, Forex pairs and stuff, it seems to be pretty solid. But I don't know, just in my use of it, you know, again, maybe I'm just doing something wrong, maybe I'm not. It is what it is. But, you know, I probably am just doing something wrong, but, you know, it just doesn't feel as solid or as consistent, especially nowadays with the way markets are moving. You know, after Trump took office and everything that's going on in the world, stuff like that, and all the tariffs and everything, it just, NASDAQ seems a little bit more unpredictable when it comes to supply and demand zones and stuff like that. It doesn't seem as efficient to me. But yeah, my focus just has shifted a little away from trading, you know, and that's okay. That's all right. I'm trying to kind of more, you know, plan a stable future rather than just putting all my eggs in one basket. Because, I mean, before I was kind of just dumping all my eggs into one basket, and that's all I was focused on was just trading. And, you know, now I kind of want to do some extra things, like maybe go to trade school. Woof. Neutral shift there. That's fun. But yeah, now I kind of want to go into like trade school, maybe learn like welding or something, or, you know, like motorcycle mechanics. I love motorcycles. I've always wanted to be a mechanic, and I mean, I'm pretty much already halfway there because I work on my own bikes and stuff like that. I work on my buddies' bikes. You know, it ain't something exactly new to me, working on bikes. And I mean, it's good money. It's good, stable money. There's always going to be people that need you to work on this stuff. I feel like it would be solid, you know, especially if I want things like, you know, a kid, stuff like that. You know, I want to start building a family, start getting into like a house and stuff like that. And I feel like balancing the two is a definitely good way to go about it, you know. Well, trading can be very lucrative, you know. You gotta have some stability, some sort of stability, especially in this economy, man. This economy's cooked. Working just a regular 9 to 5, you know, like I do, just ain't gonna cut it. I need to find something just a little bit more high paying, something with a bigger skill, stuff like that. That's more of just, you know, the I guess the responsible adult side of me coming out. You know, I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. I really don't. So I also feel like motorcycle mechanics would be, you know, a great thing to learn, considering the fact that, like, next summer I really want to invest into getting myself on the track. I want to, you know, get track time in. That's another dream of mine that I've always had, was to race motorcycles. Like, it would be so cool, you know, to be a like Moto3, Moto2 racer or something, maybe even a MotoGP racer one day, you know. But yeah, you know, it's just stuff to keep me busy, stuff to keep me, you know, pushing forward and trying to progress myself. And as I mentioned, not putting all my eggs in one basket, man. You know, maybe that works for some people, but for me, I don't want to do that. I want to be able to have multiple sources of income. You know, I want to be able to have YouTube, be able to have trading, be able to have, you know, my main, you know, job, my main career. I want to be able to have multiple different areas where I am pulling in money from. And, you know, to me at least, I feel like that's how you truly grow your wealth. That's how you genuinely get wealthy, is by creating multiple sources of income by any means possible, and combining all of that into something bigger, you know. Because I mean, if I'm pulling in money from trading, I'm pulling in money from YouTube, I'm pulling in money from, you know, my like being a motorcycle mechanic, and then, you know, let's say magically I end up, you know, being good at motorcycle racing, and let's say I end up getting sponsors, and let's say I get on a team, and now, you know, I get to race bikes and stuff on top of all that, pulling in all that money, you know. And God only knows what else, you know, I could be building into, you know, a couple years from now. Like, that to me shows progress. That shows to me, you know, potential wealth, potential growth. That shows that is the view of what I want. And I feel like, you know, to get to that point, to get to where I want to be, I'm gonna have to, you know, relax on some things sometimes to focus on other things. I'm gonna have to kind of jump back and forth between things, you know. I'm gonna have to allot the time to certain things over other things for a short duration, and then bring back in the other things when I'm ready and fully prepared to do so. But yeah, all in all, I've got big plans, you know, for the next while. I've got some really big plans that I want to watch unfold over time, and hopefully things work out in my favor and I get to do exactly what I want to do over the time. And I mean, obviously I will definitely be bringing y'all along with me for the ride, you know. I like involving y'all in the things that I do, the, you know, dreams that I have, the things that I want to pursue. I mean, who knows, maybe it'll, you know, give y'all an idea for something you want to pursue or go try, or, you know, whatever it may be. And I feel like a big thing with trading for me as well is, like, a lot of people get it you know, oh, come on. A lot of people get it, you know, kind of twisted up in the fact that, like, they think that, you know, if I start trading, I'm just gonna generate generational wealth all off of trading, and I'm gonna give myself the life that I want all off of just trading. And, like, that's not a realistic view of trading. You know, for anyone out there, I hate to burst your bubble, but that's not a realistic look at trading. That's not a realistic look at what's going to happen. You know, maybe it's happened for a couple people. It's a very, very small, and I mean small, percentage of people that have been able to generate generational wealth off of just trading, you know. And even if you could do that, the amount of time that it's going to take you to generate wealth like that is years, boy, years of consistent, continuous growth with your trading. And trading just doesn't work like that, you know? You're not going to have just consistent, continuous growth. The markets are the world, and the world is always changing, right? The world is always changing, and it is always changing way too much for you to consistently, year over year, be sitting here putting up like these amazing astronomical numbers. It's just, you know, it doesn't work like that. I feel like a lot of people, you know, get that kind of mixed up and twisted. Like, it just ain't that sweet. Shit ain't that sweet. I felt bad because I wanted to wave and stuff at that guy, but yeah, my big note for this video is just, you know, if you want to grow, you want to generate massive wealth and, you know, be able to do all the things that you want to do, you're gonna have to slave away for a couple years and do the things that you don't want to do to get to where you want to be. Otherwise, you're just not gonna get to where you want to be, man. You're just not. You're gonna end up hindering yourself, and you're gonna make yourself sad and upset because you're gonna feel like you're going nowhere because you didn't just take the time to sit here and, you know, do the things that you need to do to get to the point that you want to be at. And, you know, I'm not gonna let myself be one of those people. I want to do this in a smart, responsible manner and end up at the point that I want to be at, because of the fact that, you know, I took the time and, you know, put in the effort to do what I needed to do rather than what I wanted to do. But anywho, I won't make this video too long. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I'm not sure if I'll end up uploading this. I mean, I probably will, but, you know, I'm just not too sure. We'll see. But anyhow, I hope you all enjoyed. I hope y'all have a great rest of your weekend. I don't know when this video will be uploaded, so it might not even be the weekend. It might be midweek when you're seeing this. But anyhow, y'all have a great one. Anyone riding out there, ride safe. Anyone trading, best of luck to you. And I will see y'all in the next one. Peace, everybody.